Dating safety. So is dating safety a big concern for a lot of your clients, especially going online? Absolutely. I think a lot of the people who come to see me in particular are people who have maybe had a bad experience, or they're not extremely familiar with the idea of online dating. And so, you know, it's a little bit different if you've met someone through a friend, because you have somebody already who's vouching for the person. But if you're just meeting somebody, you know, where all you know about them is what they've just chosen to put out of the world, the picture that they've chosen to put up, which could be however many years old, the age that could be quite wrong, you know, all these things that they've chosen to put out to attract a particular person, then you really have to be careful and cautious, especially at the outset, both with not revealing too much about yourself, and then also if you choose to meet, with your physical safety as well. How do you feel like dating online compares to dating somebody that you meet in a bar, for example, in terms of safety? You know, I tend to counsel my clients to do exactly the same things, play it exactly the same, regardless of where you met someone, because, you know, people can say anything, and just because they haven't lied about their age or something on the computer doesn't mean that you know what their heart and their intentions are. So even if you've met someone at a bar, I still recommend, you know, the same kind of first meeting. Meet during the day, meet at a neutral place, don't have the person pick you up. And to go on like that for some time, because it takes a while to get to know somebody. So when sharing information with someone, even on a date or in person, I sort of tell people jokingly, but you know, it works out, don't share more than you would with someone sitting next to you on the bus. Because there may seem to be this level of familiarity that develops when you're talking to somebody online, because you're safe in your private home and you're sharing very personal information, and then you meet in person and this person knows so much about you. But you would never say that to someone sitting next to you on the bus who's just as much of a stranger, if not less of a stranger, because you know they live in your area and they're probably going to work and those things, so you have to be careful. Someone asked, or I get asked relatively frequently about keeping oneself safe in dates, and body language and cues and ways that we can avoid danger. One of the best recommendations that I make for people is this book. It's Gavin Becker's The Gift of Fear, that was given to me by a friend of mine back when I was doing online dating, and he thought, you know, he had concerns for me and for my safety, and he'd read the book, and he said, you know, this is the kind of thing I would give to my daughters, and so this is something I want you to have. And it's just a fantastic book. He's a security expert. He's worked protecting presidents. He's worked with the Secret Service, and it's all about learning to trust your instincts and know that you will sense danger before it comes to you, and to listen to those feelings. So Gavin Becker says that humans are the only animals in the world that sense danger and continue toward it. They talk themselves out of feeling scared. They say, oh, I'm just being silly, or you know, I have no reason to believe this. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I want to be polite. It's important to be polite, especially for women, you know. Oh, we want to be nice and we want to be polite. We don't want to be rude or hurt someone's feelings. And so we'll go along with it even though we're getting a bad feeling, because we can't necessarily trace where that feeling is coming from. So he tells stories and vignettes of women who have been attacked or victims of violence, and he tells how they themselves are able to work out that they felt cues and warnings ahead of time that they didn't listen to. And so it's a really good, empowering book about learning to trust your feelings and trust your instincts. And in fact, there are lots of things that people tend to do that give away that there's going to be an attack. They may tell you, oh, you don't have anything to worry about from me, or you know, whatever they tell you is basically the lie, to try to make you feel more safe. And the bottom line there is, if you're not feeling safe, you just need to turn around and walk the other way. You don't need to apologize for keeping yourself safe. So some of the other signs that he talks about are strategies that these people will use, and they're very, very good at them. One of them is forced teaming, where you feel as though you're on the same side. They make you feel as though you're on the same team, that you're up against a common struggle together. Whether you're needing help carrying groceries up the stairs, and he's talking about how, oh, you know, those grocery stores are making those plastic handles thinner and thinner these days, and we've just got to do something about that. Now he's using the word we and putting you on the same side. And that's one strategy that can be very effective. Another really common strategy is charm and niceness. A lot of people think that a predator is going to be creepy or strange or rude or harsh, but in fact, many have their charm really sharpened down to a fine point. And that's one of the things to really watch out for is if somebody just seems a little bit too slick and a little bit too smooth, you have to ask yourself, why is that such a skill that this person has developed? Another thing to watch out for is if the person is giving you too many details. Why are they giving you so much information? If there's some elaborate story about a missing cat or a sick grandmother, or the reason why they need to help you carry all the things that you're carrying up to your apartment and then use your phone because they forgot their keys and someone was supposed to pick them up and they have this trip to this place or that place. People don't really do that. That's very strange. And so that's another cue to watch out for. If you're getting too much of a detailed story, you have to wonder why. Another strategy that Becker talks about is what he calls loan sharking, which is basically something that a person will do to put you in his debt. So if he really wants to help you with something, and he does, then in a sense, you're in his debt. And whether that's something that he explicitly says or just a feeling that he's trying to give you, I've done something for you, now you've done something, now you have to do something for me. That's a commonly employed strategy. So if somebody asks to help you, you can simply say no thank you, I don't need that, I'm fine on my own, I appreciate the offer, and move along. And finally, one last tip is discounting the word no. If you say to someone who's offered you something, offered help, or asked a question, or asked for something in general, if you say no, then it's a no. And if the person doesn't accept no, then you can just be more insistent, you can stop talking, you can walk away. It's appropriate to be rude. He's being rude to you by not accepting your no, and it's perfectly fine and acceptable and the safe thing to do and the right thing to do to walk away and make safety your own priority. Get help from someone else, ask for help. You know, you can run, you can scream, you can do whatever you need, but your safety is the first most important thing. And please don't ever be afraid to make a fool of yourself, make a bad decision, or hurt someone's feelings if it's for your own safety.